me 10:30 and
You want to use the microphone?
that's all right. It's
Sure.
all right. That's 10:30 Jewish time. You know, it was 11 o'clock, but that's okay. Thank you so much. I didn't forget he said his name is Gabriel, but I'm Gabriel, so I didn't forget that either. And the story in Rochdale is that we had 3 synagogues. We had the Orthodox synagogue, which later became a Montessori school.
Yes.
And it was over by Baisley. Then we had Adas Israel, which was conservative, which was later changed into, bought or whatever, into a church, you know. And the third one was in Rochdale itself. When I moved in 1964, and the population of Rochdale Village was about 80% Jewish, and about maybe 20% Christian, and among the 20% Christian, maybe 10% black. That was how small. And within a period of less than 10 years, the population drastically changed. I call it the exodus.
Yes, it's ridiculous.
And one reason that it changed was because they changed the guidelines of the busing for children. They started busing in children. They said it wasn't an integrated enough neighborhood. So they were busing in black children from what you would call disadvantaged areas or different types of areas. And some of those kids were beating up the little white Jewish kids, and the parents didn't like it. They started getting fearful, and one family moved out, then another, it was an exodus, of 2 exodus. Plus, there also was a bus strike. And combined with the 2 things, within a period of maybe 5 or 6 years, the population shifted dramatically. The services stopped in the community center. The Orthodox synagogue was there up until about, I think, maybe 15 years ago. And then this one was recently sold. There wasn't enough people, you know, to keep it going. So I make a joke because I work in Forest Hills, and I would go to shul on Saturday. The shul I happen to like because I like the rabbi. He's a Sephardic Jew from South America. I happen to like the way he does everything. And they would have what they call beginner's minyan in the morning before Sabbath services. They called it a beginner's minyan, meaning that if you're not very well learned in Torah studies, he examines certain parts of the Torah. Then you go in, you have the service. The Kiddush is about 12:30. I hold my appetite this morning because I thought you guys were going to have the Kiddush, you know. But, I'm already, you know, a few more pounds less, and you won't see me. You won't see me. I'll be like, okay. But anyway, so I went to a service once in the Orthodox synagogue. I was well dressed, but one person made a remark to me. It's not appropriate to wear pants in an Orthodox synagogue. It's not appropriate to wear pants. So I asked Gabriel if I came in pants, would it be okay? And he said, come. I will wear a dress for next time because I think you all look so glamorous. I want to look like you guys. But it's just the idea that, so here's the trick here. It's a trick, really. Where I work, we have a Sabbath elevator. That means you don't have to press a button. You get in, and it goes on every floor. So you can ride the elevator because you're not operating anything, any machinery. Okay. So I said to the rabbi, look, I have a ticket for the Long Island Railroad. I already bought it. So I'm just climbing the stairs and going into the train. I'm not operating any machinery. And then I come here. Is that okay? He says, no, stay at home and pray. I think that's carrying it a bit too far. You know, and you know, where I work, they will not use a microphone on Saturday. And the other thing is that the rabbi came yesterday with a guitar. He's taking guitar lessons. And he started to sing a song, and we all sang along. We had the Shabbat, you know, service, the Oneg Shabbat service. So I picked up the guitar and said, I'll play a song. He says, no, you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to sing in my presence. But I said, but I do it when, you know, well, I've allowed it, but I'm really not supposed to. So if I go to his house, for a Seder or anything, his wife says, the women are not allowed to sing with the men. Now these are rules. Now, I'm not saying they're wrong and I'm not saying you're right, but they carry it to extremes because, you know, in the Orthodox synagogue, there's a curtain that separates the men from the women. Here you've got a little division here. And, you know, I think that he carries it to an extreme where he says, you're not allowed to sing in my presence. But, I mean, aside from all that, this is a wonderful thing. I didn't know anything. I assumed it was Ethiopian because I happen to know that a lot of black Jews came from Ethiopia. It was just an assumption, but it was a correct assumption. Right. There's also a group from Africa, Yemenite Jews. And I've been to some of their, they have like they have concerts and things in Manhattan and I've been to those things. And so, you know, the plight of the Jews over the centuries has been really sad. And I'm an open-minded person. I've been to, by the way, Messianic Jewish services where they believe that Jesus is Messiah and they also very Yarmulke and they do all of that. So I'm open to all kinds of ideas. I have my own beliefs about him. I believe that he was a spiritual person and I believe he was chosen by God, but I don't believe he was Messiah. You would think. But I have my own feelings about Yeshua, which is his Hebrew name, I believe. Not Jesus, because the J and the Y get mixed up, you know, when it's pronunciation. But he was Yeshua, which really means living water. And I believe he was a holy and blessed person. And I even believe he was divinely inspired. And that's my own belief. But I go sometimes to that also. But this is wonderful. And I like to ask the question, so how many Ethiopian Jews are there in New York? A lot? Really?
Thousands.
And what language do you speak besides English, Hebrew? You speak another language? You speak your language? If you can. What language would that be? What would the language be? Is it no, but I mean if you have parents or family that came from it. Most of you are second and first generation. I mean you are third generation, fourth generation.
No,
They're
we're
not.
not all Ethiopians.
Oh, and so originated Ethiopian, but we're not necessarily.
Right, not everybody.
No, I can see that. So when you called me sister, I knew right away where that was going. Welcome, sister. Okay, I feel at home with all people. I have no hang-ups. I could be in a room with 50,000, whatever they are, Indians, Chinese, Japanese. I feel at home with all people because I feel there's a connection. You know, and the line from the poem that I forgot was, you are the word and the deed, the flower and the seed. Because you are in everything that lives and grows and everything that swims and flows. Because God is everything. He's in everything. And he's in you and me. So I believe that. And thank you for listening to me. I like to talk.